Um, it was the difference for us. Let me just go back to the last two Summit League games that we played. The difference for us was the offensive presence of our post play. And obviously Faith and Vicky led that charge, and I thought Detty did a great job coming in off the bench and getting some good buckets for us as well. And the other thing is that we started this trend defensively against Denver, but we just missed layups at Denver, to be real honest. And but I told him at halftime that the same squad that played defense for me at Denver showed up at this game here tonight too. And again, our biggest talk at halftime, there weren't a lot of adjustments to make because I thought just the intensity of the players and their effort and just their hustle defensively. I was really happy with just where it was a very even game. It was a very good game. South Dakota is a very good team. I understand why they're the conference, tournament winners from this last year, but I thought we grew up tonight. I thought we grew up tonight and we showed some maturity, and I enjoyed seeing two freshmen with three seniors on the floor down the stretch at the end of the game. I thought Tyja Manuel had huge minutes for us tonight. I think she only, I think she gave us 22 minutes, but the three shots that she hit from the field were all at big moments for us, and I just thought defensively she was at a different level and everybody else was challenged to meet her standard. So very proud of our squad. This is the squad that we've expected to have, this whole season. And I think the biggest thing now is I'm so glad we got the good win tonight because I want them to be hungry to repeat that. But this is who we know we are, and we're starting. I've said this to the team. They're probably going to be tired of me saying it. We always talk about spinning those plates, and I think I might have even said this here in the media room before too. And I thought tonight we kept all the plates spinning at the same time, and now we've got to be consistently doing that every game. So.
Well, my teammates, like in practice, my teammates push me harder and harder so that I can play like I practice. The coaching staff, encouragement all the time to do better. And so tonight I just try to not think about it too much, just do what I know what to do and put it all on the floor.
During this stretch of games where you've done well, do you feel confident out there? Do you feel like you're settling into a groove now with the team and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think I'm feeling more comfortable at playing, so I think I found my little mojo.
Could you talk about what Faith has done differently and how she's been contributing after the game?
I think Faith came in to this freshman season, and we knew she was special athletically from the beginning. And obviously, she knows how to score. She did it for 4 years at Memorial, and she's led the state in scoring before. And so it's all things that she knew to do. But she's also a perfectionist, and she hates to do anything wrong. And so I think there's a little bit of her that it's been a relaxing process for her, just kind of trusting that it's okay. There's going to be some mistakes that come with it. I think she's been able to kind of trust that it's okay to grow publicly, with everybody's eyes on her and stuff too. So I think just like she said, she's starting to kind of relax and find her mojo a little bit. I think part of that is just understanding that it doesn't have to be perfect all the time. That when she plays hard and she just does the things that she's capable of doing, we need that. We have a need for that. And I think so in her maturing process, I think she's beginning to catch that vision of what she's got to bring, for the team every night. And I was so proud of her because, I had to sit her for a while in the first half for quite a few minutes because she had two fouls fairly early on. And then in the second half, I just had to go back to her. Ty was starting to get run down a little bit, and we missed Faith's offense on the floor. And she and Vicky both played for a long time with 4 fouls. And I just thought she did a great job. And I'd like you to not have 4 fouls in the next game. But no, so just growing up. I think it's just that growing up process that you can talk about it a lot, but there's no substitute for just the experience on the court. And I just think she brings something to our team that's unique as far as the combination of her position and her athleticism, and it's hard to guard.
Is that something you're seeing from your freshman class as a whole now, that they're starting to finally get where they need to be?
Yeah, I thought I had to bail Jordan Doyle out one time tonight, like with a minute and a half left to go in the game. She kind of got herself on a sideline, and there was a quick trap right there, and so I called a timeout. But, we basically had 2 freshmen handling the full court pressure the whole time with Faith entering the pass to her and Jordan. I just don't think Jordan looks like a freshman anymore. I don't think she looks like a freshman anymore. She hit the big three in the corner when they were starting to kind of pull the game a little closer off the pass from Vicky. I like the second one that she took in that same spot also. I just think Jordan's going through the same maturing process that Faith is going through right now. And Jordy Gilbert, Jordy had some huge minutes for us, and Jordy's contribution doesn't always show up on the stat line, but she does a great job defensively. So, it's that freshman class. We said this early on in here this year, back in November, that as they go, we're going to go this year, and that's what we're starting to see.
How important is it to be 1-1 in Summit League play versus 0-2?
Well, we're actually 1-2. I wish we were still just 1-1. I'll kind of go ahead and fall on the sword there a little bit. Tonight just shows our girls that they can play in this league. I think that's the biggest thing. In some ways, I was talking with Coach Williams, who's a good friend from South Dakota tonight. We were talking a little bit about how it's nice to go on the road early in the season because it gives you the homestand before you go to conference tournament. But at the same time, I don't have a player that's been on my roster at this point for longer than 2 years. So that's kind of the negative of having to go on the Summit League and learn who a Summit League team is for the very first time. I thought part of what we did tonight was a direct result of figuring out who North Dakota State and Denver were. I thought I thought we showed tonight that we're kind of learning the style that the Summit League wants to play. So in answer to the record, we might have had a little bit more margin for error had we opened at home as opposed to having to go learn who this league is on the road. But at the same time, we lost to two good teams too. North Dakota State turned around and beat South Dakota State 24 hours later. Again, I felt good about what we did at Denver defensively. We just literally missed layups, too many layups, while we were there. So, but it's good to get this one here at home, and I think we will have a different team that will take to the road this weekend when we go to Fort Wayne. I just think they're just, yeah. So. Well, I'll be happy to. That team that was there on the Mabee Center court tonight, they're welcome to show up at practice and at games anytime. Okay, I like that team. So.
Lastly, could you talk about your free throws? You guys hit 24 of them, shot 31. Is that a result of being aggressive inside, or how big was that for you?
This is not, for people that have followed our team for years, we've had years that we've set records on the number of three-point shots we've put up, and we've kind of always been a strong outside shooting team, and that's just not who we are this year. We're really not blessed to have a lot of depth from behind the arc this year. So we've known since we got ready for our trip to Costa Rica in August and practices in July. We talked about that this is the season that we've got to win the games in the paint. So we got away from that a little bit right before Christmas and just coming back from Christmas. But at Denver, we shot a lot of free throws. Went to the free throw line again here tonight. I think that's just part of what we have to do that. We have to do that in order to be competitive in the Summit League, because we've got to have something that can offset the hot shooting from a lot of these teams that have 3 or 4 shooters on the floor at any given time. So, and we've kind of been in a little bit of a rut too with how well we've been shooting free throws. I think back to the Grand Canyon game here at home. We had a poor field goal shooting performance that night as well. But to me, that's about right. That's what we ought to be doing since we're a post-dominated team and we're trying to get into the paint with our guards. So, good. Thank you. I'm going to keep that one. Bringing it up, and